Hi, everybody. Okay, I have literally never had this much trouble with technology before in my entire life. Facebook Live, which I use all the time, like literally multiple times every single week for years, is not working right now. And then I tried to come on and share this Zoom link with you, and now it's telling me, because I tried to go live so many times in a row because it kept dropping out, that I'm not even allowed to post. So I am just going to record this for everybody, and it is what it is, and I hope you catch the recording and really enjoy this. But either way, I am super excited to be on with you guys this afternoon, even if nobody is going to catch this live. I really hope that this recording helps and this webinar really helps you. Drinking a little pick me up this afternoon, since it's that time in the afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, I am Annie McCarty, and I am a coach. I am a health and fitness coach. I coach people on their mindset, and I coach and mentor people to build businesses of their own. I have actually been an entrepreneur for, Lord, I'm going on 16 years now. Since I graduated from college, my husband and I started our own business right out of college, an automotive shop. So very different from the other things that I do now, but I have all of that experience building my own business. And what I really love, I mean, I love helping people with their health and fitness, but what I really, really love is helping people make those mindset shifts and also to build businesses of their own. So part of what I wanted to come on today and share with you about is uncovering your self-worth, because I meet so many people where that is one of the big things holding them back from all of that, holding them back from a career that they truly love and they want, holding them back from going after their dreams, holding them back from relationships in their life, holding them back from being their authentic self, and holding them back from achieving what they want with their health and fitness and just feeling good. So that's why I wanted to come on and share with you. Like I said, I am a business owner. We still have our automotive shop where I work a couple days a week, and I also work from home on that business. And then I have my coaching business as well. I am also a mom to 3 kids. My kids, I have 2 girls and a boy. The older ones are 6 and almost 4. And then my little guy just turned 2 not that many months ago. So things are super crazy here, but really fun. And I know that all of these mindset shifts that I am going to be sharing with you are part of how I have been able to do so much. I meet so many people who say, oh my gosh, like, how do you even do it all? How do you fit that much in? How do you have that much energy? And this is why. What I'm going to share with you is why. So just a little bit about me and my background and how I got here, because coaching other people is about the last thing that I ever expected to be doing. I grew up a somewhat normal childhood. I mean, I guess we all have our things, but I grew up in a household and was raised with a very fixed mindset. And if you haven't heard about fixed mindset and growth mindset before, a fixed mindset basically believes that what you are born with and those inherent talents are basically kind of your limit, that you're fixed. So I grew up believing that, you know, I luckily had a lot of advantages. I am, I guess you don't lose that. I tend to be very intelligent. I did very well at school. School came very naturally to me. I was that overachiever that a lot of people couldn't stand because they were jealous of them. But all of this really was kind of a hindrance to me, because school did come so naturally and so easily for me. It's not like I didn't work. I learned very early on that I could put in the hard work. But as long as I worked at something, it just came easily and it came naturally. So in that sense, the growth mindset, on the other hand, believes that as long as you put the effort in, that basically anybody can learn and achieve anything as long as they try at it. That we're not just a fixed personality, that we have that ability to change and to learn and to grow into the person that we want to be as long as we work at it and put the effort in and put the time into that and the consistency. So again, I luckily, because I would not be here where I am today, I luckily learned very young that hard work was important and that I could work at that. But I also had the belief that if, so again, the school just came naturally to me. So if I did bad on a test, it wasn't because I hadn't worked hard enough at that. It was that I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't good enough. I constantly had these feelings of not being enough. This is where the fixed mindset is so damaging, that I, as a person, was not enough. And this grew into a perfectionism that was just crippling for years and years. And I do look back and I'm very lucky that I was able to have as much success as I was just based on my talents, because I just lived in this fear of failure, this fear of being wrong, this fear of looking silly, this fear of looking stupid. And whenever those experiences would happen to me, I would literally go into this like shutdown, because it wasn't just that I hadn't worked hard enough. It was that I, as a person, wasn't good enough, is what I believed. And so it took me a lot of work, and it's still a work in progress, but it has taken me a ton of work to change that mindset into the growth mindset, and to really start to uncover my self-worth again. Because the thing is, worth is something that we are all born with, and it's something that never changes. We are all born with the same amount of worth. If you believe that everybody is created equal, then you believe that everybody has the same self-worth. And just an example, because if you're sitting there saying, yeah, but me, I don't feel like I have that self-worth. Think about if you have kids, think about your kids or your one kid. If you don't have kids, think about your spouse, your parents, if you have nieces and nephews, or just anybody who's close to you, who you love more than anything. So hold that person or those people in your mind and think about, so especially with kids, this is a really easy example for you parents out there, because with our kids, I am sure, unless you have like this little tiny newborn baby, I am sure your kid has done something in its life that has irritated you, gotten on your nerves, that was not the right thing to do, that you've been angry about, that you've lost your temper, lost your patience, lost your cool. I know for me, like I always have with my 3 kids, I've had that pivotal moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I got angry at my child for like the first time. And it's not that it's like a violent anger, but they go from that being this like innocent little baby to then having something of like a personality of their own. And then they do something that irritates you. And it's like this shift that happens. But no matter how much they get on your nerves and they do things to annoy you, like my 2-year-old right now has figured out that he can do things simply to get on my nerves. So he's been testing that. No matter how much they do all of that and annoy the bejesus out of you, if they were in a burning building, you would do anything to go in and save them. Am I right? Because their worth has not changed. Just because they do things that get on your nerves and that irritate you and you lose your patience and lose your temper sometimes, their worth will never change. So if that's true for them, then that's true for you. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that, because that's the first step in all of this, is understanding that it's not that you have to create your worth. Your worth is already inside you. It's there. It's just gotten covered up with the gunk that you have been through in life. And we've all been through hard stuff. So it's just gotten covered up. So all it is, it's not that you have to create worth or become more worthy. You just have to uncover that and rediscover that. And once I realized that, that was so powerful for me to realize that it's not me. I am just as worthy of anything as the day I was born, as anybody else on the face of the planet. It's just that I've been through a lot of shit in life. Excuse my language. I curse a lot. So I've been through a lot of really hard things in life, as so many people have. It's not that it's a competition, but all of that hard stuff and growing up with that belief that I wasn't good enough covered it up. And the perfectionism created this fear that I was living in, and that made it even harder and harder and harder to see my own worth. So once I realized that I could uncover it, there was no stopping me. It was like, okay, I can do this. I can go on this journey, and this journey is exciting, because as you start to uncover all of that, why is this thing? Of course, now people are sending notifications. Real quick, I'm going to go shut down my email, because I think that's what's dinging at me, and that's going to drive me crazy. And I really hope that you're not hearing that on the recording, but I kind of think you are. So we're just going to turn that off. So it made it exciting to go on this journey, because it was like, okay, there are things that I can do, and that's inside me waiting to be uncovered. And as I started to uncover just a little tiny piece of it here and there, I became more confident. I always felt like I was this terrified, shy person. Like any kind of social situation, or like anything that was awkward, or again, where I felt that fear rise up in me, I would just go into shutdown, and to not have to live like that, to be like, okay, you know what, I'm okay. And to have that confidence and feel good about myself again. I was like, this is so worth it. Like, I'm going to keep doing this. And the more that I do it, the more that I take these steps, and the more that I work on myself and start to uncover that worth further and further and further, the more abundance and wonderful stuff starts pouring into my life. And that's part of why I am here sharing this with you, because let me tell you, 3-4 years ago, I would not be on a video with you guys. There's no way. Number one, I didn't have this to share with you, but I would have been terrified to come on a video and talk to you guys about anything, much less your self-worth. It was just something that didn't exist. So this has been a journey for me, and I want to share this with you, because to watch the people that I coach, to watch other coaches on my team as I start to mentor them and work with them on this, start to uncover this. It is such a powerful experience, and it's especially powerful to be going through it with other people. So the first thing that we need to talk about, and the first thing that I'm going to have you work on, is your mindset. Like I said, so there's the fixed and the growth mindset. it's one thing to say, to acknowledge and understand, like, okay, yes, like I can grow into whoever I want to be. That's wonderful. It's a whole other thing to actually start to make the changes. And that's where the hard part comes. And I think a lot of people just feel like there's such a positivity movement. And I love positivity. I am a very positive, happy person. I love putting that out into the world. But positivity is just being like, okay, like everything's great. I'm going to be happy. Like, that's not going to fix stuff. It's not going to fix the stuff going on up here. And it's definitely not going to help you work through the fears that have been built up for years and years and years. It's great to be happy and to be positive, but you know what? Crappy stuff is still going to happen in your life. So to just be one of those people that's like, well, I'm just going to be happy and everything will be okay. You know what? Sometimes it's not okay. But on the other hand, it is okay because you're going to get through it. You've been through really hard things in life. And I know that you can get through those things, but it's having the tools to get yourself through those things and to come out the other side as a stronger, better version of yourself, rather than it building up more fear and creating more problems. So we're not just going to talk about being positive and being happy all the time, because that's not real life. So some things that you need to start doing is really tackling that inner dialogue. And I like to call her my inner mean girl because she is mean. She's horrible. She says terrible things to me that nobody else on the face of the planet would ever say to me. And I would never say to anybody else. But she says them to me. So that's the first thing that you really need to start to tackle is your inner mean girl or your inner mean guy, and really start to pay attention to that self-dialogue that you are having. Pay attention to the things that are just racing through your mind. And we don't even realize that they're there a lot of the time. And that's the hard part. So the first thing is to start to be mindful. So anytime that you realize that you are saying something to yourself, like, oh my gosh, I was so stupid. I can't believe I did that. I'm such an idiot. Like, I did it again. Like, I missed my workout again. I ate that piece of cake. I know I'm not supposed to do that. I'm just a loser. I'm sure you have your own inner dialogue. And like me as a perfectionist, it was like, you messed up again. You failed. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. Like everybody else is better than you, smarter than you, more successful than you. You're never going to be as successful as those other people. That's not for you. So to acknowledge that that is what's going on in your mind is the first thing you need to do, because you have to start to take control of that and say, no, you know what? No, I'm not an idiot. I made a mistake, but everybody makes a mistake. And you know what? It's one little mistake. The strength from making a mistake is to learn from that mistake and to get back up and keep going. So you have to start to intercept those messages that are coming in and turn it around. And one of the best ways that I personally have found to turn things around are affirmations. You might be thinking, because this is what I thought at first, I was like, affirmations are just silly. Like, I am not going to look in the mirror and tell myself, like, I'm a rock star. I'm all this stuff that isn't even true. Like, that's just stupid. I know that I'm not that. So why am I telling myself that? And that's the thing. Like, again, I feel like all of these movements, like the positivity movement, there's great stuff about being positive, but if you do it the wrong way, or that's like your only thing, it's not going to work. If you do affirmations the wrong way, like if you tell yourself stuff that you know isn't true, that's not going to do anything. So I want you to start making a note anytime that you hear that inner dialogue going off. I want you to make a note of what it was you were telling yourself. And then you're going to start to flip that around and write an affirmation. So if you're telling yourself, like, God, you're such an idiot. I can't believe you messed up again. You're always messing up. We need to change that around and make an affirmation saying, I make mistakes like every other person on the face of the planet. It's okay, because mistakes are how I learn and how I grow and improve as a person. I learn from my mistakes, I get back up, and I keep going. You can see how that's so different. And so affirmations also need to be customized to you. They need to be very personal to you. And they need to tackle that inner dialogue. And that's why I want you, like, I can give you some affirmations that I use. One of my favorites is, I am exactly where I am supposed to be. Because I always have had this conversation going on in there of like, look where they are, look at what they've achieved. Like, I should be there. Why aren't I there? Why haven't I done this? Why haven't I done that? Why haven't I lost the baby weight yet? Why haven't, on and on and on. But I am exactly where I am supposed to be. It makes it okay to be where I am, and it also makes it okay to then start working towards what I want, but it's on my own timeline. It doesn't have to do comparison. There's no comparison. I don't have to worry about anybody else, because I am exactly where I am supposed to be. So that's one of my favorites for me. So write down this dialogue that you're having and start to create stuff that is going to tell you what you need to hear. And at first it's going to be really hard. I personally like to write my affirmations out in the morning. You can also, it's very powerful to say them out loud. I have like a running dialogue with myself throughout the day as well, of just kind of reminding myself my most important things, and especially if you hear that inner voice cropping up and telling you some stuff, just go into some of your favorite affirmations. Just start repeating that in your mind, because that is what you're going to start to believe. What you fill your head with and your thoughts and beliefs is what you will start to believe if you tell it to yourself enough times. The second thing I want you to do is to practice gratitude, because I think a lot of the time we get so critical of ourselves and so hard on ourselves, and we don't take a minute to stop and look around at all of the things around us. And, even in my very hardest moments of my life, I've always had something to be grateful for. Even if it was like a roof over my head, even if what was going on in that house was not a happy thing, I still had a dry place to sleep. There are so many things. A lot of the time, I am just grateful for a hot cup of coffee in the morning and 5 minutes of quiet before the craziness of getting the kids ready for school breaks out. And I think it's very important to acknowledge that. Like, I am grateful for this moment. I am grateful for all of the time with my kids. As much as it can be a challenge sometimes, it's important to be grateful for the things in life that are a challenge, because that's what's making you grow. And those often are, it's that flip side of the coin. It's the yin and the yang. Like, those are the things that you need to acknowledge, that even though maybe it's hard, it also has its really good aspects to it. And the last thing on the mindset is to fill your head. So we're filling our head with gratitude. We're filling our head with affirmations. I want you to also fill your head with voices from other people. So whether it's that you're reading an actual like paper book, if we know, I don't get a ton of reading time of like an actual paper book, but I do get a fair amount of listening time to audiobooks and podcasts. And there are so many good ones out there. You can do like a membership to Audible is what I do for my audiobooks. I know iTunes has a ton of audiobooks as well, and you can find them all over the place. Just Google if you aren't sure. So I can share with you guys, if you want my resources, I actually have, I have an ebook that I just came out with that lists out some of my favorite resources. So if you want that, just shoot me your email address and I will get that right over to you. It has a list of books and podcasts that are some of my favorite, but hearing it from other people. So to start to work through some of these things that you really need to to work on is the last component of the mindset stuff. So we're going to move on. My second way of starting to uncover your self-worth is to take time for yourself and make yourself a priority. Where you put your focus is what will grow, and where you feel like it's important, right? So if you don't give anything value, you're not going to see value in it. So if you are finding your own worth, you need to put time into yourself and make yourself a priority, because things that are worth it are a priority, right? It's kind of that like reverse psychology. If you are not prioritizing yourself, you are sending yourself a message that you are not worth it. So the reverse is true too. If you make yourself a priority, you are going to be sending yourself the message that you are worth it, and it's going to help you see your worth. It's going to help you build your confidence. So these are the actions, like actual actions that you're going to take. And a lot of this comes down to health, but it's also self-care. So a lot of the time I'll talk to people and I'm like, okay, like let's see if we can get you a little bit more active. Let's see if we can get you doing some kind of workout, even if it's just like yoga or stretching. And some people are super like, yes, let's do it. And some people that's scary. Even if it's just walking. I used to be like, I was not an exercise workout person. I never played team sports. I never did that kind of stuff. I like to go for hikes and I like to ride horses when I was younger, but like I was not one of those exercise people. I hate running. I still hate running. That scared me at first. And when I was really out of shape, it scared me even more. So I can understand if that's a scary prospect. But there are lots of other things you can do too. But if you can start to get just a little bit of activity in your day, like literally it can be stretching, it can be something so gentle. And if you don't know where to turn, again, I have resources that I can point you in the direction of, and get you hooked up with, even a couple things that are totally free. If you just want to try it and you like, I need to try this. I've never done anything like this before. I don't even know where to start. Going to the gym, like exercise terrified me. Going to the gym was like a heart attack for me waiting to happen. It gave me massive anxiety because I didn't know what I was doing. So I get it. I understand that. Eating healthy, right? We want to fuel our bodies and nourish our bodies and treat it right. And if we are filling our bodies with a bunch of junk, what you're going to get is not feeling good and not having energy. Part of the reason why I have so much energy all the time, that's one thing everybody's like, how do you have that much energy? I want some of that. And like, yes, I drink my coffee, but this is not all caffeine. I fuel my body really, really well. I give my body dense nutrition every single day. I eat as healthy as I possibly can, which this is not to say I also enjoy myself. I enjoy what I'm eating. I eat really yummy, healthy food. I eat some really yummy stuff that's not so healthy, but that's in moderation. And because the majority of what I'm putting in my body is really good. And I'm also, again, every single day I have a shake that is super dense nutrients. That our food supply is so depleted right now. An apple today is not what an apple was 100 years ago. You are just not getting the same nutrients as you used to from your food because our soil is so depleted. And like that's where all that is. It goes all the way up the food chain. So even if you're eating some, beef or chicken or something, what those animals are eating is not as nutrient dense. So you are not getting the same nutrients. And so getting that one dense dose of nutrition that my body needs, that's multivitamin and then some, makes a huge difference. A huge, huge difference. But then it's also my meals, like all of my meals throughout the day, making sure I'm getting my vegetables, making sure I'm drinking enough water. That is one thing that is so important for feeling good. I can tell, like, here is my water bottle. I can tell I should have already finished one of these and be a little ways into the next one. And I can feel that I haven't had enough water today. Once you start to tune into it and get your body used to what it needs, then when you don't have that, you really can tell a difference, that you just don't feel as good. You need to sleep. So many people in this country, myself included, I mean, I've had little kids, but I also, I tend to be a night owl and I don't like getting up in the mornings, but I have been getting up early in the mornings to get done what I need to get done for my day. And when I go to bed too late, I can feel that I have not gotten enough sleep this week. Sleep is so important. When you have not gotten enough sleep, your body releases hormones that they're stress hormones. So you feel more stressed. Your body has totally adverse reactions to. It's one of the biggest triggers of waking. It's one of the biggest triggers of feeling hungry. When you're tired, your body releases more hunger hormones. And that's part of why people crave carbohydrates and sugar so much, because your body is looking for that energy source because it hasn't gotten enough sleep. So you really need to make sleep a priority, as hard as that is, because we have so much going on. Life is busy. But when you can start to flip that around and be like, okay, you know what? It's not so busy that I'm willing to sacrifice my own health and well-being and feeling like crap all the time. So take care of yourself, because you are worth it. And the more you take care of yourself, the more worth you're going to feel, and the more then you're going to want to take care of yourself. It's this cycle that just gets better and better and better. You can also do things like meditate. And if that's a little too woo-woo for you, just think of, for me, I'm meditation, yeah, that sounds a little bit like new age. I'm not very good at sitting still. There are walking meditations that you basically pace and walk, so you're moving. I sometimes will think of it more as just sitting quietly and taking that deep cleansing breath, because it really does work. You don't have to listen to crazy new age music if that's not your thing, but just sitting there and taking some deep breaths and getting some oxygen flowing into your blood, calming yourself down, taking those few minutes to unplug and de-stress, it is amazing the difference that it makes. So just try it. And that's the thing with all this stuff. Just try it and see what happens. It's not to say that you have to start going on meditation retreats for entire weekends. That does not sound like my cup of tea, but I really like just sitting quietly for a little bit. It doesn't mean that you have to start going to yoga class all the time, but maybe stretching out for 10 minutes before you go to bed is going to feel really good. So we don't have to go to the super extremes of all of this, but just taking a few minutes throughout your day to remind yourself that you're worth it. It's worth taking care of your body. It's worth taking care of your mind. It's worth putting good things into your body. And just moving around, because you're going to feel better. You're going to be more confident. You're going to feel better in your own skin. All of that is going to make you feel so much better, right? So I'm going to move on. I know that I like to talk, and so this is going a little bit longer than a half hour, I think, but that's okay. I hope you guys are getting so much stuff out of this. So my last tip for you, hair in my mouth. My last tip for you is to find somebody to be your mentor, to ride their coattails, to be that pick-me-up. And it doesn't have to be a formal business or coaching relationship. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. But what you're looking for is somebody who believes in you. Because a lot of the time at the beginning, like when I started on this whole journey, that self-worth wasn't there. I didn't believe in myself. But I did find some other people who believed in me more than I believed in myself. And so being able to hitch on to them and ride their belief until I started to feel enough belief in my own self-worth to then have that momentum to continue, that made all the difference. Because if somebody else can sit there and tell you, you are worth it, you need to go do that because you are worth it. Your dreams are worth it. Your health is worth it. Your mindset is worth it. I know that you can do this. You can become any version of yourself that you want to be. And I know you can do it because I see that worth in you. Even where you don't see the worth in yourself, I see that worth in you. To have somebody who has that belief and that energy, you start to absorb that. And that's where then, like I said, you can start to pick up on that for yourself. But just imagine if you can kind of partner with somebody like that. And I have a whole bunch of partnerships like this. It's not just one person. The more people you can find, the better. But if you can just find a couple of people in different aspects. So, I have what I call a success partner, and she and I check in with each other every single day, usually multiple times a day. And we just tell it when we're having a hard day, we're there to tell each other, you know what, it's okay. Like, count your wins. Look at what you've done. Like, you got this. You're fine. You did great. Like, yeah, you might not have done all this stuff, but you did do all this stuff. Like, you're worth it. You're doing the best you can do. Like, maybe try doing this tomorrow. Maybe try getting this done before you go to bed. I know you're having a rough day, but like, I still see the value in you. I also have a business mentor and business coach. So he and I work together more in terms of business stuff, but he gives me that belief in myself. He can see that potential in me to take my businesses, all my multiple businesses, to the next level. And so having somebody who sees that is super powerful, because that gives me, even on the days where I'm like, just feel like, like we're going through all these growing pains at our shop or whatever it is, he's there to say, you know what, like, it's fine. Like, you're going through those growing pains for a reason. Like, this is what you're going to get out of it. I see the growth. I see the potential. I see where you're going. You've got this. Just keep going. Or maybe try this a little bit differently. I have a whole team of coaches that I work with, coaches who are on my team, who basically do what I do and help other people with their health and fitness and their mindset. And having all of them to work with, it's so, so powerful, because on my own health and fitness journey and just my mindset, staying positive, if it was just up to me in terms of my workouts, like, I enjoy working out now. I've gotten to the point where I like that. I know I feel better when I eat healthy, but I also know that if I didn't have a whole team of coaches to check into and my entire virtual gym group who was like watching me, it's this group on Facebook. It's amazing. I have this whole group of people in there who we do workouts, we eat healthy, we're on this health journey together, and we check in every single day. And knowing that I have to go check in with them, I'm a lot more likely to get my stuff done so that I feel better. But they also are there. Even though I am coaching a lot of them in terms of like their coaching business, but also their health journey, they're there just as much for me. I'm getting a lot out of that too, because I have them there believing in me and saying, you know what, I know you can do it. I know this is a really hard workout program that you're doing, because I'm doing it too. But we got this. We can do this. I know that you can do it. I believe in you. So, and then I have my husband, who is very supportive of me. I have a best friend who is amazing. I mean, she is fantastic. She also happens to be a coach on my team, but in terms of friendship, just somebody like I know she is always there, that no matter what I need, no matter what I'm going through, she's always there for me to see, even when I'm struggling and I'm really down on myself, she's there to see that worth inside of me and to remind me. A lot of the time, it's just about perspective. It's about looking at yourself through somebody else's eyes. And so if you can find people to surround yourself with who you can constantly see yourself through their eyes, because they see your worth, because we all have the same amount of worth. They see your worth. You just have a hard time seeing your worth. So you need to look at yourself through the eyes of somebody else every now and then. And to be honest, like the more the better, like the more perspective that you can get there, the faster and the more intensity that you are going to get in terms of this journey. So those are my 3 tips. I hope that helped you. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway is. And I have one more little thing that I want to put out there, because you've heard me talk about my virtual gym. You've heard me talk about all of these coaches on my team that I'm mentoring, but like, again, they're mentoring me right back, and we're all there. It's more of like a symbiotic relationship than just a one-way thing. And I actually have things going on right now all at once. I had meant to kind of stagger this a little bit, but it ended up that we had like a whole bunch of things kind of hitting at the same time. So I actually have a brand new nutrition boot camp starting for the whole family. It's starting on Monday, and I'm super excited about it because my kids eat pretty healthy, but we have had some really bad eating habits develop in terms of mealtime, and I am just ready to be done with that. We've started to make some changes, but I am super, super excited to go through this group with everybody and just get the whole family eating healthier and trying new healthy recipes. Like, I get stuck in a rut where I make the same thing every single week, and I am ready to try some new things and get some new recipes that my kids and husband will also love, so we can just change things up and we can all just learn and get better in that area. And with that, you can always work out. Like, I am always down for people who want to work out. So if you just want to do workouts too, that's cool. So that's one thing. But what I'm really, really excited about is my new coaching mentorship program. So if you sat here and listened to all of this, and even if you're not 100% sure about coaching other people yet, but you're like, I need to be a part of that. Like, that is what I need. I need that community. I need that mentorship. I need to be surrounded by people. Like, I don't have those people to surround myself with right now. And that's where I used to be. Like I said, I was so shy. I was so introverted. Like, I didn't know how to surround myself with people because I wasn't out there meeting people. The people I was meeting weren't on this journey. They weren't like, I didn't have that there. So I needed to find that. So if you're sitting there, like, I totally get it because I've been there. If you're sitting there saying, I need that in my life and I don't know where to find it, well, you have found it, because I am bringing just a few people onto my coaching team to mentor personally. And if you want to build a coaching business, that is amazing. I would love to mentor you in business. Like I said at the beginning, that's one of my favorite things to mentor people with. But along with that comes the health and fitness mentoring, the mindset mentoring, all of the other coaching. And if you're saying, I just need to work on me for right now, but I also need that extra accountability, because like, I just feel like if I don't have that extra layer of accountability, sometimes for me, I actually signed up to be a coach just because I needed a little bit more personal accountability than just being kind of out there on my own health and fitness journey. I knew I needed to take it to the next level, and I needed to have people there watching me and just have that extra layer of intensity. If you need that, then this is the perfect thing for you, because you're going to get that extra, that little bit extra, that little bit, you get to work even more closely with me than even the people in our virtual gym group. And it's not even just being coaching on our team, but I'm taking you on as a personal mentee. So if that sounds like something that you are curious about, sounds like something you are interested in, if it sounds like something that you are sitting there going like, hell yes, I need that in my life right now, I want you to shoot me a message. Like I said, pretty much all of this is kicking off on Monday, so we only have a few days. And for everybody who I do take on in my coaching mentorship, I am going to be giving you a personal development gift, basically stuff to start working on your mindset. For everybody who is joining my nutrition boot camp, or if you just want to do the workouts, that's cool too. I am actually going to be giving every single one of them a cookbook. So with your nutrition program, you're going to be getting version 2 of the cookbook, and I'm going to give you the first version. So you basically get double the recipes if you hop on board with us by Monday. So if you want more details, if you just want to join, if you aren't sure, but you're just like, I just need to talk to you, or I have questions or anything like that, whatever your circumstance, I am here for you. You know how to message me, or you can also go to my website and contact me on there, AnnieMcCartyFitness.com, or like Instagram, whatever works the best for you. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I think I'm personal friends with most of you too on Facebook, so it doesn't even have to be through my business page, but just look me up. You know where to find me, get in touch, and we can get you all set up and ready to go. I am so super excited for the end of this month, because I am ready to, we already have so many people both on our team who are changing their life and other people's lives, but also in our virtual gym who are just, I am so proud of them. Oh my gosh, the results that some of these people are getting, it just blows my mind. Like being able to pop in there every single day and see people crushing their journeys is just so inspiring, and it makes me want to be even better on my journey too. So I would love for you to be one of those people in there with us, and to be popping in every single day to see how you are doing and be inspired by you and inspire you. So I hope to hear from you very soon and see you in there. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we finally made it even with the technical difficulties. So have a great one. Bye, guys. Oh, gotta stop my recording. Bye.